So welcome. I'm glad that you have joined me today, and today's meditation is a practical one that you can listen to and follow while working or driving a car. It will work on many levels as it will help you to be present and calm at any given moment, which is far more powerful of an experience than getting into a deep meditative trance. So this series will help train you to keep your mind clear, to remain calm, and to live confidently in the present moment. So let us begin. Take in a deep breath. So inhale and exhale. Check your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Whatever you're doing at this moment, can you do it with your shoulders down and relaxed? Now smile. A big, huge smile. And do that throughout this meditation. Check on your shoulders and have a big, huge smile. And hold these two poses. Relax shoulders, huge smile. So take in a deep breath and exhale. Master O said, "I would rather be ill-treated by all the people in the world than ever be unkind to others." Nobody thinks in your mind but you. Therefore, your choices are yours alone. You can't let go of anything if you're continually holding on to it. So we will identify areas where you are still holding on to old beliefs, experiences, grudges, fears, stories, people, lifestyles, and attitudes. We will focus on beliefs that your mind is ready to embrace or release, where it is ready for change, progress, and transformation. So hear these words and feel them deep within your body, your mind, and your spirit, and allow them into your heart. Because you are absolutely worthy of every virtue. You are worthy of every life-giving belief. And as you hear these statements and let them into your heart, they will transform you gently, profoundly, and bring greater and higher good into your life. There have been times in your life where you have been betrayed, where you have felt betrayed, and where you continually create betrayal. Betrayal is the breaking or violation of a trust or confidence that produces moral and psychological conflict within a relationship, between individuals or a community. This can lead to a fear of trusting others and trusting oneself. So holding on to these experiences so that it won't happen again, and thinking into the future as a way to protect oneself and attempt to feel safe are the hallmarks of feeling betrayed at some point in your life. Calling out others' betrayal, but denying your own participation in the exchange is also a form of response to being betrayed in your life. And this only leads to more betrayal, more trust problems, often resulting in an internal war of me against the world. And in this state of war, it is very difficult to not show aggression. It is the opposite of being calm and peaceful. So to truly feel safe, one must be in a state of calm and peace. And in a state of calm and peace, one feels truly safe. It is a place of power. So these statements will help bring up and shift the energy of betrayal so that you can begin to trust others, to trust yourself, to see your divine worth, and to let go of anything that holds you in a state of defensiveness and aggression, holding you in a state of presence in each moment. So check yourself. Your shoulders are relaxed. Big smile. And we'll start by taking a deep breath and releasing and repeating this maxim. Take kindness and benevolence as basis. Take frankness and friendliness to heart. Speak with reason, treat with courtesy, act with emotion, and accomplish results. So let us release the anger and resentment of being betrayed. So take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. And say to yourself, I forgive myself for believing that I have to hold on to the betrayals that occurred in my life and in the lives of my ancestors in order to be safe in my own existence. Breathe and exhale. I forgive myself for believing that holding on to past betrayals keeps me in control of myself and others. Breathe and release. I forgive myself for believing that betrayal is a part of life. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for believing that everyone will betray me at some point. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for betraying myself. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for betraying others. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for identifying myself through the betrayal that I have experienced. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for expecting betrayal from others and thus betraying myself through the stories that I tell myself. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for believing that it is impossible to let some things go and to surrender to trusting in others or myself. Breathe in and release. I forgive myself for believing that I can't let go and trust. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that it is not safe to trust. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that when I relinquish control, I will be hurt and betrayed. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I will die if I give up control and trust others. Breathe. I forgive myself for failing to respect the great Creator's divine control. Breathe. I forgive myself for putting myself in the role of the divine, the Creator, by trying to control. Breathe. I forgive myself for expecting to be betrayed. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I deserve to be used and betrayed. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that it is my duty and responsibility to be used. Breathe. I forgive myself for allowing the disrespect of being used as punishment for betraying my own nature. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that being used is holy. Breathe. I forgive myself for using and betraying others. Breathe. I forgive myself for creating life experiences that support betrayal. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I must control others so that they will not betray me. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that control is my only defense. Breathe. I forgive myself for using control to validate my betrayal and perpetrate a false identity. Breathe. I forgive myself for being controlling in everything I do. Breathe. I forgive myself for holding on to evidence to prove that I was betrayed. And breathe. I forgive myself for creating the struggles I face now because of my need to control and to avoid behavior and betrayal. Breathe. I forgive myself for creating the pain and illnesses I face now because of my need to avoid betrayal. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I deserve pain and aggression. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that life is a battlefield. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that all I know is betrayal and confrontation. Breathe. I forgive myself for fighting battles with others and with those who are on my side. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that others couldn't possibly have my best interest at heart, even the great Creator. Breathe. I forgive myself for choosing aggression to validate that life is a battlefield and I have to be the conqueror. Breathe. I forgive myself for creating battles. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I have to win or die regardless of the damage I do to myself and others. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am created bad. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am created flawed and I cannot be redeemed. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that the great Creator made a mistake when He made me, and that I am worthless to Him. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that people, including myself, are innately evil. Breathe. I forgive myself for choosing behavior to validate and prove that people and myself are innately evil. Breathe. I forgive myself for failing to love and honor and to know my true divine goodness. Breathe. I forgive myself for seeing the goodness in others because I can't see the goodness in myself. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that if I'm trash, others must be too. Breathe. I forgive myself for projecting my own fears and insecurities on others and making them responsible for how I truly feel about myself. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am held responsible for the mistakes of others. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that others are responsible for the mistakes I make. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am not safe when others make mistakes. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that others are not allowed to make mistakes, especially if they hurt me. Breathe. I forgive myself for expecting others to forgive my mistakes when I won't forgive theirs, and hold on to the pain to prove that they deserve punishment. Breathe. I forgive myself for my own mistakes. Breathe. I forgive myself for punishing myself by holding on to the old hurts and betrayals, even when they are mine and even when they are not mine. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that if I punish myself or others, I will win the battle. Breathe. I forgive myself for failing to allow others to be responsible for their own mistakes. Breathe. I forgive myself for failing to trust the great Creator's way of treating myself and others. Breathe. I forgive myself for failing to honor the higher will of others. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I'm not safe here, and now I need to prepare for the future to betray me. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I must rush into the future and every possible outcome in order to be prepared and to feel safe at each moment. Breathe. I forgive myself for hating my existence and the responsibilities of being here. Breathe. I forgive myself for every time I rush into the future to outthink what I perceive as the inevitable. Breathe. I forgive myself for failing to love and savor the present moment because of the fear I feel surrounding me at all times. Breathe. I forgive myself for holding on to fear as a way to protect me in my battles with life itself. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender the battle, to let go of fear, and to bury my weapons of war and turn them into instruments to bring life to others. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender to pain. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender to death. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender to loss. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender to betrayal. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender to mistakes. Breathe. I give myself permission to surrender to life itself. Breathe. I say yes to whatever life brings in this moment with joy, respect, and appreciation. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe I am safe, trusting others. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe that I am protected by the great Creator. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe that God will fight my battles for me, so I do not need to fight at all. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe I am loved and supported. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe I have faith in God's divine control. Breathe. I give myself permission to let go and trust. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe I am loved and appreciated. Breathe. I give myself permission to experience mutual love and respect in my unique relationships. Breathe. I give myself permission to accept and respect. Breathe. I give myself permission to give respect. Breathe. I give myself permission to love and respect God's divine direction and control in my life. Breathe. I give myself permission to let others be responsible for the choices they make, even if it's not good for them or for me. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe I am worthy of love, honor, and respect as much as anyone else is. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe it is not my responsibility to decide who is worthy of love, honor, and respect. Breathe. I give myself permission to be heard, especially when I use calm and direct communication to express my fears and my needs. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe that at my core, I am good and I own up to my mistakes. Breathe. I give myself permission to love, honor, and respect the purity and goodness of my divinely created spirit. Breathe. I give myself permission to create relationships that demonstrate my innate goodness. Breathe. I give myself permission to feel the goodness of God radiating through my core. Breathe. I give myself permission to trust others when they make mistakes, and I can still be safe. Breathe. I give myself permission to love and honor the right of each individual to make mistakes and be responsible for their own choices. Breathe. I give myself permission to recognize and honor each individual and their right to their own higher will. Breathe. I give myself permission to feel confident in my safety in the present moment. Breathe. I give myself permission to choose how I'm going to feel in the present moment. Breathe. I give myself permission to savor the peace I choose in the present moment. And breathe. I give myself permission to love being here, right now, right in this moment, because in this moment, I have all the power. In this moment, I can love and accept myself. I love and accept myself even if I was betrayed by myself or others. I love and accept myself as I let go, release and surrender all of what I have held close to protect me and to make believe and to make imaginary battles that I told myself were real. Breathe. I love and accept myself, even if others do not. I do not need to battle for their attention and love, because war never creates love. Breathe. I love and accept myself regardless of what others do or do not do. I love and accept myself, and I honor and respect the core essence of others. Breathe. I love and accept myself right now in this present moment. Take a deep breath and exhale. Know this, you are comprehending something new, bringing it into your present moment. You are carrying more powerful and stronger beliefs. These beliefs will manifest the peace, happiness, and calm that is divinely gifted to you at all times. So smile and relax your shoulder and start making a difference in your world. Thank you.